Good afternoon, Flosstube.
I'm Little One.
And I'm Lynette here at Homesteading on the Home Front. It is Saturday, January 16th, 2021. Which means it's only been like 3 weeks since our last video. We are on a roll. So happy New Year to you all. I have been enjoying all of the whip parades and plan videos and just having a chance to visit with my favorite floss tubers once again. So that's been nice. All right, FFOs are first.
FFOs.
We have FFOs.
I forgot what this one was called.
Mary and Minty.
Mary and Minty.
This was the Brenda Gervais freebie.
Mm-hmm.
It is mounted on a horn book that my husband cut out for us and painted.
I had no part in finishing this.
You didn't, did you?
No, I didn't.
I even painted the board. What's up with that? All right, I have my own finish. This one was finished a long time ago. There's no excuse for taking so long to FFO it. But this is Land of Liberty by Blackbird Designs. This piece we started stitching in March of 2019 at the Frugal Yankee Retreat. And somebody's calling. Go hang that up. Unless it's Grandma, and then don't tell her we'll call her back.
Hi, we'll call you back.
So again,
right now.
My husband cut out the board and I painted it. I used crackle paint this time and added some little posies from Hobby Lobby. And I'm excited that this is going to be on our wall this summer. So again, Blackbird Designs. I don't know if I said that. It was in the Land of Liberty book.
Do we want a free recliner?
All right, so that's your finish. I have another finish.
Oh, you do?
I do. I mean another FFO.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right, so you guys will remember when we were in Guam that I purchased this antique sampler, Jesse Robertson, and I charted it up and I gave it away for my 3,000 subscriber video gift. So I want you to hold that one. So I stitched my own version and it is finished. And I don't know what kind of a comparison we're going to be able to do here. But hopefully you can see that they are very similar except for this line here where I put in Armstrong. I did that because I needed to make it longer to fit this standard size frame. So I talked about this more in my previous video when I had finished stitching, but basically these are all of my Armstrong ancestors. These are my aunts and uncles and my cousins and my brother and my children. So there are 13 generations of Armstrong descendants represented in this sampler. So I am thrilled with the way she came out. I have a matching frame, just like this. Oh no, never mind. Wait, no, I don't have a matching frame for this one. I have a matching frame for the next one that's not framed yet. So, all right, I want you to hold both of those.
Okay.
Because now we're going to go into finishes, and my finish goes along with this. So this finish is Janet Robertson. Probably no relation to Jesse Robertson, but wouldn't it be neat if they were? And so I stitched this one up. I personalized it using my grandfather's aunt. He had twin aunts, Laura Beckley and Laura Charter, and so they were called Lou and Lo. And so they were my great-grandfather's sisters. And I decided that I wanted to stitch something in honor of Lou and something in honor of Lo because they were very good to my mother and her siblings. And I felt like they should be honored, even though, well, I did put their initials right here, in the Armstrong sampler, but I figured they deserve their own. So this one is loose. It matches nicely, as you can tell, and I have matching frames. They're just simple black ones like this. So this one is going to go in one of the frames, and then the other, I don't have it with me. I probably should have brought it with me, but the other sampler that I'm doing in honor of Low is going to be the Janet Reed sampler. Similar colors, definitely Scottish, and so I think that's going to make a nice little triptych on the wall, if you will, as a tribute to all of the Armstrongs. Okay. Ooh. What was that heavy one?
My FFO time? Or FO?
Yes, it's your turn for...
Alright, this is a Christmas bullfinch. It just came out of a magazine.
It's the Just Cross-Stitched Ornament Edition 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
That came out cute.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with it? Frame it or make it an ornament?
I don't know.
You just stitched it to stitch it?
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, I forgot to say. So this one, I stitched along with Kim Goldman, who is the Contented Stitcher, and it was so fun to start with her. She's not far behind. This was not a sampler that took a lot of time to stitch. In fact, I started this on the 4th, and I think I finished it, I don't know, 6 days? No, 6 stitching days. I took some time off in the middle, but I think it was like 6 or 7 stitching days. I don't know. It was quick. So thanks, Kim. It was fun stitching with you, and I hope we get to do it again on another sampler.
There's no needle on this project.
You lost your needle? Daddy will find it with his bare feet. We'll get the magnet out later. Okay, so that was finishes. You want to do your whips?
Yep.
Your whip.
I've been working on Freddie. And I've been working on this half. Previously I've only been done up here, but I started going down here. And I worked on this. I finished this shelf segment and then all of this down here.
Wow, you got a lot done.
All of that is because we watched a bunch of Marvel movies.
She gets her stitching done while watching Marvel movies, and I've been getting my stitching done while watching the NFL playoffs. All right, so my whips. I have several. So the first, let me get it out. The first was my New Year, New Start. And I started And They Sinned, along with a bunch of other Frugal Yankees. I don't have my picture. So the way I'm stitching it is, first of all, I'm not stitching the whole, like, whatever it is, 4 feet of it. I'm cutting the bottom section off because I found a frame that was wide enough but not quite long enough. So I'm not doing the bottom section because I would rather pay $14 for a frame than hundreds of dollars for a frame. So for me, this is the bottom of my sampler. I may end up putting a few more rows of grass in, but I wanted to get to the top and see how it looked in the frame before I made it any longer down there. So basically what I've done with And They Sin is I have separated it out into different sections because I don't want to carry this one over into 2022. I want it done in a year. So basically for what I'm stitching, I have to stitch 3.5 inches a month and it'll be done. And so this section was my January. And again, it went much quicker than I thought it was going to. This was less than a week's worth of stitching, I think. I started it, I worked on it for January 1st and 2nd, and then I started Janet Robertson, put her down for a couple of days, picked this back up, finished the section, and so now I'm not going to take this one back out until February, but it was a blast to stitch. I will say that I'm changing most of the colors. The DMC conversion, not good. So I'm changing most of the colors. You like this mess? It doesn't look pretty. But most of them are a Victorian motto that I'm changing to. These are the colors that are not used in this section, but will be used in the sampler. There's a ton of colors. But I'm really enjoying this one, and I'm looking forward to having it hanging. So that was New Year, New Start. I also did some work on my only project that got carried over into 2021, which is One Nation by Bygone Stitches. I started this in July with the goal of doing 1 star in 1 state per week so that I could finish it in a year. And basically what that has turned into for me is 4 stars in 4 or 5 states, whatever, you know, how many weeks there are in a month. I'll sit down and do it in one sitting. And then all of the straight lines and the blue stitching was going to be for Zoom calls and retreats, etc., because that's brainless. So I have kept up with my goal. I am ahead of where I need to be. And this is what I have so far. So I think I am caught up through the end of February, but I found a frame for this today at Hobby Lobby. It was like the perfect size, and I never thought it was possible, but I found it, and so now I want this done. So whether I'm ahead or not, I am going to be picking this one up in February and giving it at least a week. My goal is to have it done. Ideally, I would have it done the end of March so that I could stretch it or not stretch it, but lace it and frame it and have it, you know, have time to finish it and have it hanging in May for Memorial Day. So we'll see if that happens or not, but that's One Nation. I'm really enjoying this one. It's being stitched on 20 count vintage country mocha, which I'm such a fan. I love stitching on that. Okay, so then we'll talk about, where is it? This one. Oh, I didn't even show you this. So Janet Robertson was from Lila's studio. For those of you who may want it. So my long-term sub gig ended the week before, or the weekend before Christmas. Or whatever it was, that Wednesday or Thursday before Christmas. And so we had Christmas break off, and then I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off after the kids went back to school, and Thursday I found out they needed me. So I subbed Thursday, Friday, and the following Monday. And basically, it's a great time to do brainless stitching, because in this case, the teacher that I was in for was quarantining at home. She wasn't sick. She had just had contact with somebody who tested positive. So the protocol said she needed to quarantine at home. So in that case, she teaches from home, and the kids are in the classroom on their devices learning from her. So all I had to do was sit there and babysit. And these were the Advanced Algebra 2 class and AP Statistics, right? These are not kids who needed babysitting.
Not my class, though.
No, I didn't get you in class. So anyway, I was there for legal reasons, right? The kids would have been fine without me. They would have done their thing. But so I got to sit and stitch. And so I started this project. I have no picture for you, but I can show you the chart because I'm the designer. This is one of the quilt designs that I gave away for my 1,000 subscriber thank you. And they match the Barnyard Prairie Schooler series that I'm doing and the Little House series that came out. And so I wanted to get these done, and this was fantastic stitching to do there because there was very little counting involved and very few colors to worry about. So hopefully another couple more days of subbing and this one will be done and I can start working on the next one. It was my goal to get these, to work on some of these this year. I just figured it would be next Christmas before I got to them. So that was a nice little start there. And then finally, all right, I'm going to take this out of the package. You guys, Becky Nolan posted this on her Facebook page before Christmas. And it was one of those samplers where, like, I lost my breath. Like, I need to stitch this. This is fantastic. But I knew that I had all of these things that I wanted to be stitching. So I was going to wait. And then I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And finally I ordered it. And unfortunately it didn't come in time for me to do my 2021 plans video. And I forgot to mention it. But it came. And I'm very excited about it. Let me show it to you. This is called Though He Seemeth Sleeping. It says, dark the night and wild the waves, Christ the boat is keeping. Trust in him and have no fear, though he seemeth sleeping. And so the saying just got me, especially in the times that we're in. The colors got me because they're just very bright and cheery. And I knew I had to stitch this. So as soon as I finished stitching Janet Robertson, I started on this one. Now Becky did something different for this. She actually gave color conversions for DMC, Weeks, Classic Colorworks, and Gast. So there are 4 different conversions here. I grabbed the colors that I had, which honestly weren't that many, and then I just subbed from there. And so I only have, I don't know, I think 2 or maybe this is the 3rd day. I think this morning I got some stitching done. So 3 days worth of stitching. I'm loving the colors. I'm stitching it on some fabric that I dyed. I used, I think, Rit and walnut crystals. I do not dye my linen with coffee or tea because they are very acidic. And so any of these legacy pieces that I want to be around for generations, I don't use coffee and tea on them. I know that R&R uses coffee on some of theirs, but they have the acid taken out. But the stuff on the shelf, you know, from the grocery store, I'm not going to use on my samplers. I will use them, I will dye using coffee and tea if I'm doing like a small or something, but anything that I want to be around for generations, no dice. And this one, I couldn't decide when I first started stitching it which of my ancestors was going to be honored. And then I got thinking about it. The curly Q alphabet here and curly Q, it's fancy cursive basically. It's not the typical sampler alphabet that looks more like this one. And then all of the bright colors, that very much reminded me of Scandinavian samplers that I've seen. Now this is not, I forget, I can't tell who the girl is that stitched this. Emily something, I don't know, but it's not a Scandinavian name. But it just reminded me of some of the Scandinavian samplers that I've seen. And then because of the verse and the wild waves and the boat, I realized that I needed to use this sampler to honor my great-grandmother, whose name is Augusta Osterland. She came over from Sweden in, I think it was 1896. I'll have to look up the exact date. But I'm using this sampler to honor her. And I'm going to change, if you can see here, there's crowns that are red, white, and blue. So maybe this is a British sampler. I am going to make these yellow and white and blue to represent the Swedish crown. And I may make the fruits here red, white, and blue to represent the fact that she emigrated and made America her new country. So that's that. And somewhere in here, I am going to put in the name of the boat that she came over on and the date that she emigrated. And so I'm excited about her. I went to Hobby Lobby in Framingham today, which I've never been to. And I found a frame that I think is going to be gorgeous with this. It's an 11 by 14. I am stitching this on, I think it's 32 count, 1/2. And so I'm going to need to add like 7 stitches just to make it evenly fit the frame, because I'm kind of anal about that. And so what I'm going to do here is, see how these words are like spread out and then these are more close together? I'm just going to add a couple more rows in between here, and that should give me the spacing that I need. And then with the border, like, she made no effort to make these borders line up evenly, so I'm not worried about it either. So that's going to be really easy to change, and I cannot wait to stitch these leaves. So you guys, this sampler, in my opinion, should be like tearing up Flosstube. And nobody has mentioned it, and I don't know why. It can be found, Becky Noland has an Etsy shop. I know 123 is carrying it now, so it's very easily available, and I just think this is a sampler that everybody should be stitching. Of course, I thought that about Anna Grader too when that came out at Market, and that, I'm looking at it right now because it's hanging on the wall. It's one of my favorite samplers that I've ever stitched, and that did not get the recognition that I thought it deserved either. But anyway, if you like it, go get it, because it's going to be stinking beautiful. Is that on my whips? Yes, it is. Okay. So let's talk about plans. Do you have any plans?
I'm probably going to be working on Freddy for a while, because I'm getting to the point where I can start to recognize some of the books, so I'm starting to get more excited about it. I might like start a small project on the side if I ever get tired of it, but there's enough colors and like...
There's a lot of colors in there.
Yeah, there's enough colors that I don't think I'll get tired of it.
Yeah. So my plans are to finish Though He Seemeth Sleeping. My plan is to just work on that. And I had a thought the other day, you guys, that I wanted to share with you, because it was like I shocked myself. I was like, why am I loving this sampler? I was stitching on Janet Robertson at the time. I'm like, I'm just really enjoying this. And I looked back at all of the projects that I completed in 2020. I only stitched 2 samplers in 2020. I stitched Jessie, which I showed you earlier as an FFO, and I stitched Savior's Praise. And those were the only 2 samplers that I stitched. I still can't get over it. Like, that's what I do. I stitch samplers, and yet I only had 2 of them. I had 29 finishes in 2020, and only 2 of them were samplers. So anyway, this is the year of the sampler. So I'm going to stitch on Lucy Beam until she's done. I think she's going to take me most of the rest of the month to finish. As far as February goes, I will go back to And They Sinned and get my 1 week, or however long it takes me to stitch on my 3.5 inches for February. I will definitely be going back to One Nation because I want to get that done. So I'll probably give that one at least a week. And then it occurred to me that I need to start getting ready for retreat season, because I'm optimistic. So right now I don't have any pieces that are really great to take to retreats other than One Nation, because there's a lot of, just straight lines that I can stitch on that one. But I wanted to get a project going so that if and when retreats start up again, I have something to fill in. And so I went to my stash and decided that this horse from Blueskin would definitely take some time to fill in. So I'm hoping in February to start stitching on that. It's fitting, right? It's President's Day in February. But with that being said, no offense to Washington, I'm not stitching him and I'm not stitching the cherry tree. Right? It's going to just be the horse and the basket and the flag, because I want this to be a small for summer. So I'm hoping to get started on that. I will just kind of outline the horse and then be done with it until it'll just sit and hang out until retreat season. So that's my February plans. All right, 26 minutes in. So I have time to show you. I just got happy mail today. So I have decided that I could take a morning and drag my sewing machine out and say lots of naughty words, sewing project bags. Or I could sub for half a day, because the kids are only in school half a day, stitch while I'm there, get paid to stitch, and then take that money and buy project bags. And I think that's a better plan. I think it's a good plan. Everyone is happy with that plan, right? Doing my civic duty. I'm not getting myself frustrated. I'm supporting small businesses. I think it's a win-win. So I was searching the other day and I found, let me show you her card, the 805 Stitcher. And I bought some bags. She's on Instagram. Look her up, the 805 Stitcher. So the first bag I got was this cute little thing. And she very much does what I do. I like the pattern on the back, because that's what I want to see. And then I want a very simple matching fabric in the middle. All right, one that is not a solid, but kind of reads as a solid. That's how I do my own project bags. And so I'm sure that's why I was attracted to these. So I got this project bag because 99%, well, maybe not, maybe it's only 90%. 90% of my ancestors on my father's side can be traced back to 1709, 1710, when it was called the Palestine migration to New York. They came over from Germany or they were Dutch. And so I figured I would get this project bag so that whenever I'm stitching on a sampler that honors somebody from that side of the family who was Dutch, I'm going to be using this project bag. And then the next project bag I got, see, lovely crows. I knew that I was going to be stitching this project right here. So originally I ordered this bag for this project. And then everyone was showing their finishes and plans, and I kept seeing this one and loving it. So I ordered this one. And so now I have at least 2 Blackbird projects for the Blackbird bag. And each of these came with a free needle minder. Gotta love it. Love it. All right. All right, we are out of time. We have 34 seconds left before the camera shuts off. So I want to wish you happy stitching. Like I said, Happy New Year. We haven't seen you since then. And hopefully we will see you soon. Bye, Flosstube.